Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Who you with Kirk? I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. I'm out. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, though. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On It. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to Speak On It. Welcome to Speak On it. I'm welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. Welcome to speak. I'm 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 Who You With Kirk, dog? Welcome to Speak On It with Who You With Kirk, dog. I'm Who You With Kirk, dog. I'm back in the house live again. Want to appreciate everyone that have reached out to me and my family during this difficult time. I appreciate each and every one of you. Shout out to my good friend, my crew, Sean, Chris, Monica, Isha, their parents, Stacy, the Mullins, Jermaine and Katrina, Pastor Fitzgerald, Reverend Jerry Smith, man, my church, Friendship West. I appreciate each and every one of y'all during this time. It was very good. And I can't forget about Krista Jordan, who, man, that's a singing bird right there. I appreciate you, Krista. But I'm back in the house now, so we about to get this party started. Want to welcome everyone on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. D Live is in the house, so y'all can live chat with us in the chat room. Y'all can live chat with us in the chat room, and also here in Texas. I don't know what's wrong with our governor. I've said all along, he's a special case. What's going on, Radio Chaos, who is my brother from Canada? Welcome to the show. I'm glad to see that you hanging in there with us, and I appreciate it. Our governor here in Texas made a big announcement yesterday. I want y'all thought on it, because this announcement that he came out with, Texas is going to open back up 100% next Wednesday. I want to know how y'all feel about that. I have my own personal views on it, but I want to know how you feel. Do you think this order is a distraction from the failed power grid? Will y'all vote for Greg Abbott next year for his reelection? Call in, let us know. 972-591-3665. 972-591-3665. But you can chat live with us in the chat room. Me personally, I feel like it's a cover-up. It's a cover-up because people are actually going to pay attention to part of the order that he actually have said, because you got to listen to all of it. People are already talking about, well, the governor said we don't have a mandate. We don't have a mandate. We don't have to wear a mask no more. But you also have to realize it's up to those particular business if they want you to wear a mask or not. It's kind of like no shoes, no shirt, uh, no mask. You can't. They don't have to serve you. It's their right not to serve you. You have to be smart about this whole situation for the simple fact with what's going on with Greg, he's only trying to cater to certain folks. That's all he's trying to do. Trying to cater to his group of folks because he know I'm quite sure he listening to the show or his people is listening to the show because I follow him on Twitter. So I'm sure he's probably peeping in, and it's no secret. I've said I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna do whatever I can as long as I have my voice to try to make sure he do not get reelected. Um, he don't need to be. Abbott is going for the Republican puts the year. He has a lot of competition though. Yes, that's all he's trying to do. And not only that, because there's a total, once this go into place, there will be a total of 15 states without a mask mandate. I don't even have to say who the governor is of those states, what party they represent. That's why each one of those states need to make sure you are getting out and voting because this is like a death trap. That's all this is. They're gonna end up opening back up. People already have let the guards down because of the ice storm. And because of that, they're gonna open back up and be like, hey, we're gonna be at 100%. And another question I want to ask, would you support those business that allow a restaurants, club, or whatever be open at 100%? Would you support them? Because the only thing gonna end up being is a super spreader. Just because with the ice, people wasn't out, testing wasn't being done, unless a person had to go to the hospital. So of course the numbers are gonna go down. But as I start thinking about this, spring break is getting ready to come up. Now, some of you may not remember last year, after we went on shutdown, Greg Abbott started talking about opening back up again. Open back up right in time for spring break. I'm just saying that you got to follow the resource because Greg Abbott is not about everybody. He's only doing that for particular people. That's all he's doing it for. He's trying to make sure he get reelected next year. And we need to make sure he don't. Him, Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, we need to make sure neither one of them get reelected next year. And if any one of your, whatever state you are in, if your governor is not ordering a mandate for a mask, want to open up 100%, look at your COVID numbers. They're going to be high. Why put yourself and your family in danger? We're over 500,000 lives lost to COVID. He don't have no plan. Only thing he see, let's open it back up. We don't have to wear a mask. We're going to open back up to 100%. Dan Patrick said our elderlies would die to open up the economy last year. So why risk your own life? Why risk your family life? Why do it? It's not worth it. But it's going to be a lot of people to argue with the grocery stores, the food places, if they decide to say, hey, you have to wear your mask here. There will be a lot of videos coming out of the Karens and Steves saying we don't have to wear our mask. It's not a mandate. I know some people reached out to me today talking about, man, at my job, folks coming in talking about we ain't got to wear our mask. You're right. It's not mandated, but that business have every rights to get rid of you, to ask you to leave their store. And you can't get upset at nobody but yourself. Just because there are vaccines going on, do not think everything is okay, because it's not. Just because they're planning on, I think by the end of May, having vaccine for everyone, that doesn't mean we beat this. It's still a part we have to do. I've said I have a friend that actually had taken part in their first shot at a vaccination, and they still contracted COVID. Yeah, it wasn't a um, a severe case of it, but they did contract it after they had their first shot. They went ahead and got the other one, but still, just because we get any vaccine, you still need to protect yourself. Don't go back to doing the things that you've done in the past. As we see, that do not work. We need to make sure we continue to work together to beat this. And think about it. Greg Abbott, knowing that President Biden was signing a 90-day mask requirement for federal buildings, and it should have been nationwide. But I understand he can only deal with the federal level. I feel like this will kind of act toward that. But one thing about it, people don't understand this. This is very serious. This is not a game. This is not a test. You go out there if you want to and don't wear your mask, then you're gonna be writing talking about, oh, I have COVID. Please pray for me. But did you take the proper steps to prevent from getting it? That's the thing. I see people say all the time on Facebook, oh, please pray for me. But just last week, you was up in the club dropping it like it was hot. You have to want to change. You have to want something different. If you want this over, let's work together and cure it. Going to the club, dropping it like it hot, no mask on, throwing up ballers or whatever, that ain't gonna cure it. It won't. Basically, you're probably in a hot zone.
Then you turn around once you get it. Please pray for me. Pray for me. I need your prayers. Well, you should have been praying before you went to the club. You know the risk. Yo, T-Cal said, sure it was. It in my business. We will. I don't know where she worked, but she's saying that and don't put your company name out there. Yeah, because we don't want them to protest it. But yeah, it's every business right to say, you know what? You don't have no mask. You can't shop here. You can't come here. Uh, so radio said the real problem is people keep voting for these idiots. I don't understand why. I don't understand either. It's their rights, but if they not for you, don't vote for them. I feel like Ice Cube made a good point. When these politicians come around and asking you for their vote, ask them what are they going to do for you in your community. A lot of them don't care. They don't. They don't care about you. So yeah, ask them what are you going to do for me and my community. Tell me what are you going to do. Like I said before, ask them how they feel about the coronavirus. If they start talking about, oh, it's fake, don't vote for them. That's telling me they don't believe in science. So you don't believe in science, that means you can't get my vote. I'm just saying. It's you got to do your homework. The politicians, especially here in Texas, they do not care. Now, uh, one of the local news station, WFA Channel 8, posted a story earlier, and they had a list of every state that do not have a mask mandate. Um, Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Arizona, Oklahoma, soon to be Texas, soon to be Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So what I end up doing, because I didn't, like I said, we don't put out false information on here. So I pulled up each one of the states to see who was the governor. Each one of them was Republicans. So if you in any one of these states, when they re-election come up, y'all need to vote them out. Get rid of them. Get them out. Vote them out. I want to know, do y'all think it's a distraction from the failed power grid that some people are still suffering from? Just because the mainstream media is not talking about it, there are still people that is struggling from it. There's a lot of apartment complexes. Some of them don't have water. Some of them don't have lights. That's why I love my church so much, because they're on the front line. Friendship West is doing what they need to do to help the community out. So I appreciate Dr. Haynes for doing that. But do you feel this is a distraction from the failed power grid? I think that's part of it. The other part, he may be tired of People talking about Ted Cruz in Cancun, or even Ken alleged gangster Paxton going to Utah during the ice storm. Seemed like every news that came out of Texas so far haven't been good. At least not good for everybody. Only been good for him. So he's trying to change the narrative of what people think about Texas. Me personally, Greg Abbott need to go. I've said that for a long time. I've been doing this show for almost a year. It'll be a year this month. And I've always said Greg need to go. When he changed that executive order for Little Becky, I already knew he wasn't for the Black and Hispanic community. He just made it known. Think about it. When we go to the polls next year, just ask yourself, if that was you, would he have changed his executive orders to benefit you? Now, while you're thinking about it, before Little Becky decided to violate that order, get the camera plate, tear a ticket up on live TV. Then before Sarah Payton came out the cabins to come here to show her support, and all the other politicians that went there to get their hair cut, do you think they would have done that for you? I can tell you now, no. Not if you're not one of their supporters. He would not have changed that executive order. I ain't seen Sarah Payton since she lost. So I definitely don't feel like they would do it for neither one of us. So the thing is, why support them? I wouldn't. I never have. Never will. Now, before Little Becky decided to violate that order, it was two young ladies down in what city was that? Welcome to the show, Kristen McMath. Two young ladies down near the border about a month before. They got arrested for violating that order. They stayed in jail for a while till they can make bail. I talked about it beforehand. Nobody said anything about it. But when Little Becky violated that order, then the story, mainstream media started getting that story. And when they got it, of course, they got out of jail. Yeah, some of the money she got, she ended up donating some to them. Like I said, I was in contact with one of them. But once she found out she was getting that money, you had the wrong number. Okay. But like I said, if Little Becky would have been Black or Hispanic, she probably would still be in jail. Greg Abbott is not for nobody but himself. Just like Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, Ted Cruz, they all for themselves. So I recommend next year we need a vote. There's a lot of elections coming up, a lot of people on the ballot for next year, and we need to make sure we get them out. We need to make sure we get them out because we do not need to keep them in office. Along with that, Texas State Board of Education. Need to switch that up. Texas Commissioner of Agriculture, Sid Miller. Gotta go. Texas Public Land Commissioner, George P. Bush. Yes, a member of the Bush family. Gotta go. Texas Railroad Commissioner, Wayne Christen. I'll let you. Gotta go. They all need to go. But the top four, Greg Abbott, Dan Patrick, Ken Paxton, Glenn Hager, all of you have to go. I've seen enough. I know what you stand for. And you would never get my vote. Exactly. I just said they're for themselves. So if something bad happens to someone, it's totally their fault. They should have pulled themselves up by the bootstrap. See, you going down a whole nother avenue now, because the bootstraps. How can a man pull themselves up by the bootstrap if they don't have no boots on? That's their mentality. That's what they feel. Oh, you should be able to pull yourself up. You had the same opportunity like I did. No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Everybody don't have a silver spoon in their mouth. So all of us do not have that opportunity. Some of us do get lucky. But when you have schools where some teacher, I'm not going to say all because I know a lot of great teachers, when some teachers is only there to get a paycheck, how can you get the same education? And it's unfortunate that a lot of these teachers are underpaid. There's no way you could get the same education if you're underpaying the teachers. Now, some teachers just have a heart for teaching. They have a heart for teaching. With them having a heart for it, some of them going to do what they have to do, what they went to school for, to teach the kids properly. So all of us don't have the same opportunity. When sometimes you go in some of these schools, they not ran properly. Then on top of that, some of these kids may come to school. They don't have, may not have food to eat. Sometimes the only food they get are the ones from the school. So here it is in the middle of a pandemic, which Greg Abbott do not have a plan for schools. He's saying opening everything back up, but he don't have a plan how they're going to keep people safe. This is only benefiting him and the Republican Party, because each one of those states that do not have a mandate for a mask, each one of them is all ran by a Republican. But hey, some people think that's a good thing. I talked with a friend today, and if I'm not mistaken, they mentioned since October, they have lost, I think, either 6 or 7 family members since October to COVID. But here it is, we have a governor, all these governors in all 15 of those states want to open back up without a mandate. Apparently, COVID have not struck close to them. Yeah, allegedly Ted Cruz did get COVID, but he acted like it wasn't a big thing. But as for them losing a family member or a close friend, yeah, like it ain't nothing. Yeah, like it ain't nothing. So apparently it haven't hit close enough to you. I believe you're right on that. Yeah, it's all about what's for them. They don't care. They don't care about neither one of us. As long as they can get that money in, they okay. I knew when the announcement came out that um, Greg Abbott was going to make a big announcement. I knew exactly what he was going to do. Here it is, just came out of Houston, which is sagging. Cyprus mom of 5 in coma after family, including a newborn, contract COVID-19. In a coma. That's sad. But you want to remove the mandate to please your people. I'll be glad when no terrorists go to trial. Because I feel like we're gonna find out there's more politician behind that terrorist attack on January 6th than what we really know. If they get the right person to speak up, we're gonna find out information that people may not even think of. But this is one of these things. Here it is. People are still losing their lives just because the numbers went down, not taking in consideration we had a major ice storm. People couldn't go get tested. Along with that ice storm, the numbers went down. Matter of fact, uh, one station reported this morning that last year, when he raised it up, we was at higher. The numbers was lower than what it is now. As for the number of cases, matter of fact, here in Texas, as of yesterday, new cases 7,240. 7-day average 7,259. A 19 difference in the number. But he want to rush and open it back up. I want to know how y'all feel about it, because for me, we need to vote him out. Get him out. Get him out of office. Even President Biden said that's crazy to do. The local doctors here with the Dallas County Health Department, they're saying it's not good. They warning people, just because he changed this mandate do not mean we are in the clear. You still have to protect yourself. Only thing he did is change the mandate. It don't mean that the numbers are down. It don't mean that we don't have to be concerned. The virus is still going on, without a doubt. Without a doubt, it's still going on. They did say that this is two that's coming in. They say COVID-19 cases in long-term care facility declined in Dallas County. That's a good thing. But also, this came out 2 hours ago. Dallas County report 26 COVID-19 deaths, 718 new coronavirus cases. But he want to open it back up. Now, that's only Dallas County. That don't include Tarrant County, which Tarrant County should be somewhere around the same thing. But unfortunately, Tarrant County listened to whatever Greg Abbott say. They did the same thing when Trump was in office. They're going to follow whatever they say instead of standing up to him. That's why Greg Abbott is playing politics when it comes down to the vaccine. He's keeping the vaccine away from the two major counties in North Texas, giving them less vaccine. Seem like you want to get the majority of them vaccinated before to be able to control it. But hey, even Clay Jenkins said, listen to me and the doctors. Dallas County Judge Clay Jenkins say masks should still be worn. Even the doctor saying Greg Abbott's decision to strap mask mandate could result in a surge in the number of cases. Yeah, there's a possibility if we could have a surge because people are going to feel so relaxed about what's going on. And they're going to say, you know what? I don't have to wear my mask. You don't. I'm just saying, do not get caught up. Do not get caught up because people gonna say it's their rights. Yes, it is. It's your right. Yeah. I'm trying to see a couple other things. Yeah, so that's my opinion about the mask ordeal with Greg Abbott. But I would tell everyone you need to make sure next year, hopefully, you are registered to vote. Get registered now. Don't wait until next year. Get registered today. When you go renew your license, get registered. It don't cost anything to register to vote. It don't cost anything to go vote. I don't want to hear people saying my vote don't count. It don't count if you don't vote. That's the only time it don't count. If you vote, it do count, regardless of what they saying. I was telling my friend today, I said, you notice that during the local election, they don't spend all those ads to get people out to vote because they feel like they're not going to come vote. It's not important. People feel like it's not important. So why spend all that money for all these ads? You might see one or two, but not like you do during the presidential election. It's important to vote. Very important. My friend told me, said, I haven't, this last election was the last time, well, not this last election, said they just voted for the local election for the first time. And they felt embarrassed. I told them, no, don't feel embarrassed. Don't feel embarrassed. A lot of people just don't realize how important it is to vote locally. Now that you know how important it is, now you need to vote. Back then, you didn't know. Now you know. So definitely get out and vote. Let your voice be heard. I vote in every election. I don't care what it's on. If an election going on in my county, I'm going to vote. I'm going to vote. Radio said, just because Abbott say people don't have to wear masks, mean they should do it. Why would supporters of his just blindly follow his advice? Well, you open up another can of worms. Why would people support Trump? Like I said, all of this could have been avoided. I feel like we could be out of this mess right now if Trump would have came out and said just a couple of things. This virus is real. Please wear a mask. Protect yourself. But he made it all about himself. That's the same thing Greg Abbott is trying to do. Trying to make it all about himself. Instead of telling people the truth, it can solve a lot of things. But because of their action, they need to ask for forgiveness and correct the mistakes they're making, the ones they have made. If they don't, they going to hell with gasoline draws on. First class flight. But you have to do what's right. You should want to do what's right. You're in a position, as of right now, you're in a position that most people don't even have a chance of getting in. But you're using it for your advantage, for your own self gain. but you also not looking at. Now, it's so easy for so many politicians to quote the Bible, but are you actually following the Bible? It's not for me to judge you. I don't want to judge you, but I'm just saying, if you're going to quote the Bible, follow it. Most politicians claim they're Christian, but are you? Matthew 25:40 tell you do it unto the least of these. When I was hungry, you fed me. When I needed shelter, you provided for me. When I needed a drink, you provided for me. When I needed clothes, you provided for me. If it wasn't from places like Friendship West and other organization, it would be a lot of people out here hurting very bad because our leaders, if they don't look like them, they don't play a part in it. They feel like, oh, they just trying to take advantage of the system. That's all they trying to do. First thing they say, but not realizing it's a lot. People been off work. Here it is. They still fighting over another stimulus check to help American people. That our tax dollars is gonna pay. They going back and forth. That's why I say we need to clean the swamp. Get some people in office that's gonna be for the people. We need to get some new people in office and let them know, send a message to our current politician and the ones coming behind them. You play the politician game with people's life, we're gonna vote you out. There's no other way of putting it. Vote them out. Forget about what party they in. If they not doing what's right for the people, vote them out. And that's why Texas need to stand up. We need to make sure we vote them out next year. And then when Cruz come up for re-election, holla deuces to you. You gotta go. We're gonna vote you out. It's just crazy. You said you wanted these positions to be for the people. Then you get up there, get in these positions. You didn't mean all people, only certain people, ones that have status like you. Those are the ones you're trying to support. But when you are a politician, you need to be for everyone, regardless of their color, the color of their skin, regardless of how much money they have. You need to support everybody. It's a shame that we have so many veterans on the street. It's a shame. Radio says some people like to cherry pick what they follow in the Bible. Yeah. T. Cal said they sure do. They do. So what we need to do as a people, we need to send each one of them a message and let them know we're not going for it anymore. We're going to take a stand. We're going to make sure our voices are heard at the poll. Our voices are heard because I'm tired. I'm tired, but I'm not giving up though. I'm going to keep on pushing. As long as I have a voice and a platform, I will continue to keep passing these messages on. This ain't no conspiracy. This is facts. We need to make sure we hold our elected officials accountable. How to do that? Send them a message. Let them know we're not going for it. We're not. And if it was me, what we need to do is call them. Let them know. We're not going to go with this. We're not going for it. Maybe they need to go and see some people that have had the virus or talk to their loved ones. Maybe that's what we need to do. We definitely need to let them know we're not playing with it. I can't do it now. They don't know. Okay. One of my good friend. I'm sorry. So that's definitely my point of view of it. We definitely need to hold our elected officials accountable. Reach out to Greg Abbott. Call him. Tell him no, he need to change that. We need to change it. Let him know we need this change. I'm sorry. I know somebody sending me a message, but that's Greg Abbott number 512-463-2000. 512-463-2000. Call his office. Demand that he cancel that executive order. And let him know if he don't, we're gonna cancel his position next year. And we're gonna vote him out. We're gonna vote him out. That's how you do that. That's how you do that to make sure he knows we're not playing no more games. You're not finna do this okie doke with us. We're gonna make sure we let you know. We let you know that hey, we're tired of this. We're tired of it. We're tired of it. I'm sorry, people. sending me message at the same time. So definitely um, contact Greg Abbott office tomorrow. Call in enough where they have to take it off the switchboard. Make sure he understand Texas not going for this mess. We're not going for it. We're going to make sure we call, let our voice be heard. And if he don't, let him know. Let him know we will vote you out next year. Without a doubt, we will vote you out next year. You're up for re-election. We will vote you out. Um, that's all to it. We got to stop playing games with the politicians. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. Hold them accountable. It's no other way of doing it. Greg Abbott, I don't even think he campaigned no more. He just feel like he's gonna win. And it's gonna be a different season this time. Because as long as I'm able to be on this microphone, we need to show up like Atlanta did. Need to show up. Vote them out. Need to vote them out. T. Cal said, yes, sir. Let's make sure they are heard. Yes, we need to. I'm tired of playing these games. These folks think, oh, they're not gonna vote. Don't worry about it. We'll be able to slide in there. No, nope. That's not gonna work. That's not gonna work. We're gonna make sure we get everything done like it's supposed to be. If you're not for all the people, we're gonna make sure we send you packing. Hey, I can't imagine. I can't. I'm like this. It shouldn't be going on. It could have been prevented. I'm not saying the numbers would have been much lower. I really feel like they would have been. But at the same time, when you have a fool in office that don't give the people the right information, this is the results of it. That's why we're over 500,000 lives lost just in America because of poor leadership. Poor leadership. 518,000 deaths in America. That never should happen. Who's going to be held responsible for all those lies? This is not like a video game. You have one life. And you mess around, lose that life. You can't push reset. It's over. It's done. That's the way we have to look at this order from Greg Abbott and say, you know what? We're not going to play these games. That's terrible. Yeah. We're tired of playing these games with politicians. Matter of fact, I forgot what day it was. Monday. It was Monday. Um, my wife and I make it home from, I think it was Monday. I don't know. Monday's been running together, but one day I make it home from handling some business pertaining to my mom, and I see a some politician came by the house asking for our vote and left a flyer on the door. And I'm like, I wish I was here. I wish I would have been here. No, that was on Saturday. That was Saturday. But we get home, I see this flyer on the door, and I hate the fact I wasn't here. And kind of find out it wasn't even the person that was on the flyer. He had someone drop it off. I don't care what party you in. I want to know, what are you going to do for our community? How do you feel about this power grid failing? How do you feel about all these people still without lights and water? How do you feel about these things? These are questions that we should be asking them. How do you feel about it? How do you feel about Ted Cruz abandoning the ship to go to a warm place while many Texas are iced in, no lights, no water? Some didn't even have food because they was already struggling because you up in Washington refusing to pass a stimulus bill to help Americans. You voting against it. And when I say you voting against it, I'm talking about Cruz, Ted Cruz, and all those other Republicans that's getting paid regardless of what happened. They got their guaranteed money. They gonna get paid. So they don't care about us long as they continue to get their money. Enough is enough. Let's come together, hold the politician accountable for their actions, because we are the ones been affected. Yeah, there have been a couple of politicians that have gotten COVID. It even been a couple of that actually passed away from it. But at some point, enough have to be enough. Enough have to be enough. And a lot of these people don't care. They don't care because it don't affect them. Their families are not being affected. Think about it. Cruz said, I think his wife in the text, I believe to stay at the Ritz Carlton, it was $300 and something a night. That was just for the hotel. $300 and something a night. His plans were to stay there through the weekend. Now, I'm not quite sure the date. I think he left on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, come back Sunday. Welcome to the show, ZTM 5075. Yes, it's been a long time. Glad you came back listening on Twitch. Thank you for coming back and always supporting the show. I appreciate it. Definitely like, share, tell a friend. Whatever platform you're on, please like and share. Click the notification for you can know when we are live And you can live chat with us in the chat room. Um, but think about it. If Cruz went on that trip and his family stayed there for 3 days, that could have been roughly 11 to $1,200 just for the hotel, not including flight, just for the hotel. Uh, just for the hotel. But can you imagine how many people that would have fed? Can you imagine that? $1,200. That's just on the hotel. The flights probably a couple of hundred each round trip right now. So just say if they spent another 1,000 on a flight. I know we always get a food come in every night. Sins 215, welcome to the show. Hopefully, I'm hoping you saying Trump 2024 when he go to prison. So I hope that's what you're saying. But just imagine, say if Cruz spent 2,500 for them to travel. 2,500. How many people would that have helped? How many people would that help during that storm? 2,500. How many meals could you have provided? You could have provided for people. How many meals could that provide? How much water could you have given people? You could have fed 1,000 people with that. You had a connection. If people know that you're going to go out and do something like that, you know they're going to give it to you wholesale. See, I'm glad I didn't read that at the beginning. Radio said, well, at least the people in Cancun got spared. Ted strolling down the beach in their Speedos. They don't deserve that. Mexico is not an enemy. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. Summertime, when we get out this pandemic, I might be walking down the beach in my Speedos somewhere. Um, so, um, so I'm not knocking them from that. I don't want to see it, but hey, uh, I don't want to see. Okay, hold on. Somebody's calling. Somebody's on the hotline. Hold on. Speak on it.
Hello?
Yeah, speak on it.
Hey, how you doing, George?
No, I'm not George. You calling into the show or what?
George.
I'm live on the show and you on the air. How can I help you?
Is this Curtis?
Who is this?
John Steven.
Doug Steven. Where you calling from?
My basement in Oklahoma.
You said from Oklahoma. You want to talk about the subject we're talking about tonight or what's going on?
Yeah, Newtown, Pennsylvania.
Okay. How can I help you? All right. Have a drink for me too, and call back when you a little bit sober. There you go. I don't know what he was talking about, but okay. Uh, um, so I don't know who Doug Steven is, but he sounded like he was low in that baller, way low. So um, so I don't know what was going on for that. I voted for the person that was best to beat Trump because I was tired of being lied to. I was tired of all the lies that he said, and I'm also tired of the racism that he have. So yeah, I voted for the best person that can beat Trump. That's who I voted for. Um, yeah, that's the same thing I asked. WTF? Because he was drunk. I believe that was Sins 215 that called. I don't know for sure, but I noticed it was a PA number. So I think he was drunk, a little bit low in the bottle. I think he probably thought we wasn't lying. Okay, we're gonna try this again.
To press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Speak on it.
Hello?
Yes, you gotta listen to your phone. Cut your computer down. I'm getting a lot of feedback.
I got you. No, I'm just saying. You said you voted for, I'm guessing Biden, but I feel like all politicians lie, not just Trump.
Yeah, all politicians lie. That's the name of the game. But also, what you got to look at with Trump, I feel like we could have been out of this pandemic by now if he would have told the truth. Trump did not tell the truth about the pandemic. He lied about it for several months until it came out that reporter was actually going to come out with a book and talk about it. That's the only reason why Trump came out and said he wasn't honest with American people. That's the reason why.
I get that. I agree. He probably could have handled the situation better, but Joe Biden can lie about something else, and that turns everything against him. And
what have Joe? Let me ask you this: what have Joe lied about?
What is he, a month in? Not even. You're saying Trump lied about something a month in? The pandemic didn't happen a month into his presidency.
No, it didn't. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
That's what I'm saying. You gotta take time. You don't know what Biden's gonna do. No one knows what Biden's gonna do. I don't think Biden knows what he's gonna do.
Well, at this point, he's cleaning up what Trump had messed up. That's what's going on.
Well, if you can put it that way, but I feel like any president that would have came in after Trump would have did that. Because that's what the media put out to be.
No, it's not what the media put out to be. It's just the fact that Trump is a big old racist liar. That's all that is.
Oh, don't get me wrong about I'm not going to bring in the racist card and everything, but don't get me wrong. Trump could have handled the pandemic better and everything, but we don't know what Biden's going to do to clean it up. He's only doing what's he doing.
Well, what he's doing right now, he's going back and changing things that Trump put in place. So because of that, that's what he's focused on now. So as for what Biden might do, if you've been listening to the show for a while, I've always said, I don't care about Biden or Harris if they do not do what they need to do for the people of America. If they don't do that, I won't be voting for them next time. they won't be in office. I'll be doing the same thing like I did with Trump. Trump needed to go. Trump never should have been in office when he started talking about grabbing the women by the kitty cat, and he lied about that. Look at all
that
the
happened years ago.
that happened years ago. That happened years ago. But what about all these other allegations of these charges that is coming up on him? What about the school that he did that was not for the people? He basically lied about that and got all these folks money. What about that?
Yeah, I get that. But do you see how it comes out when he becomes president and nothing was being said when he wasn't president?
Okay, let me ask you this. You saying it comes out when he became president. What about the fact Central Park 5? I don't know if you're familiar with them or not. Those are the 5 black boys that he took at a full ad in New York and saying they needed to be lynched back in the, I think it was late 80s, early 90s or something, because they was accused.
Documentary and everything,
exactly. So how you feel about that?
In his defense, I mean, all the evidence pointed to them in the beginning.
No, it didn't.
So they had that one breakthrough.
No, it didn't. It did not point toward them. What pointed toward them, it was the color of their skin. That's what they was guilty of, for being black in that neighborhood at the time. So it didn't. The evidence did not point toward them.
I'm not saying it was right, but at that time, that's just how it was. I'm not saying it's right though. I mean, hopefully people realize that, like, nothing about you being judged by your skin color is wrong and everything. But at that time, that's just how it was. I wasn't alive for that.
Well,
I didn't get those experiences.
I was alive of it, but I didn't have the knowledge of it. I was a kid during that time. I didn't know about it. But at the same time, now that I know what Trump stands for, I'm like, look, that's just like Trump have complained about reporters not liking him, because it's a video circulating around now where Trump stormed out of a interview years ago. He wasn't even in politics, wasn't even thinking about it, and he stormed out. So at that point, it's like, hey, Trump is one of those type of people that say, if he don't get his way, he pout and he got to run. His niece said her uncle, Donald J. Trump, actually have some mental issues. He messed her daddy out of their father inheritance. So yes, it is a problem with Trump. It's all about him, all about his money. So I don't want to assume anything. I'm gonna just ask you straight up. So are you a Trump supporter? Hello? Okay. I guess that's the end of that one. But yeah, it's amazing how people live and die by this man that don't give a damn about them. It's so amazing for that to happen. And it's okay. You can support whoever you want to. It's okay. You can support whoever. They talking about gas price. Yeah, the gas price definitely went up. That's because Texas is not regulated on the federal level for the power grid. If we were regulated, the gas prices wouldn't be going up. I'm gonna agree with T-Cal. Okay, then call back in a year and see how he does. Bye, boy. But once again, people act like Biden is the white knight came to save the world. No, Biden have work he need to do, but he need to be a president for everyone. Not just the black community, not just the white community, not for the Hispanic or any other race community. He need to be a president for everyone. We need leaders that's going to be for American peoples and not just for the people that support them. That's what we need. And I kind of think what happened is reason why he called the first time, he actually didn't think I was going to answer. But I did. And because I answered, I think I kind of scared him a little bit because he wasn't aware that we're live on the show. And I'm going to answer. But what I ask anyone, everybody is welcome on this show. I just ask several things. Be respectful and bring facts. We don't deal with conspiracy theory on here. We don't do that. So definitely, you're going to call into the show. You're going to be in the chat room. Bring facts. Bring facts. Don't come with this made up stuff because we won't deal with it. And unfortunately, when the people come, they call in or they chat in and they don't have the facts, they get upset and leave. And that's all to it. It shouldn't be like that. You know, be for the people. For the people, by the people. So, yeah. Yeah, I say kitty cat. I'm doing better. I'm trying not to cuss that much. So I'm doing good. I'm like this. Come on, I've said on the show, I felt like he was a good governor. But if these things are true about him, he need to be held accountable. He don't need to be in that position, and he need to be held accountable. If that's going to jail, he need to go. Just like anyone else. One of the charges just happened last year. I don't know who he was talking about was white. I believe he's talking about the person that committed the crime. I want to think he was Hispanic, but I'm not quite sure right offhand. I believe he was Hispanic. And not only that, he also confessed, had already confessed before they finally released him. And they still end up spending all that time. And unfortunately, one of the young men committed suicide. He couldn't deal with the stress of what he went through while he was false in prison, all because of a lie. So yeah, it's a terrible thing. I agree with you, Radio. Trump is a reality TV guy, not a president. He just couldn't handle the job. That's all to it. That's all to it. He couldn't handle it. But people want to feel like Trump is God. No, he's not the chosen one. He's not. Trump is all about himself. That's what people have to realize. People still saying, I've heard two different dates, March 4th, March 6th, whatever date they given. Trump is not coming back in office this year, and hopefully not in 2024. Hopefully he would be in prison by then. I know he been to that CPAC telling people he's the nominee for the 2024 GOP. Don't believe that. He keep eating McDonald's and Diet Cokes. He may not make it to see it. I'm just saying. I'm going to put the facts out there. It's up to you if you're going to take it in or not. So, far as I'm concerned, hey, Trump going to do what he want to do. Greg Abbott, we're going to hold you accountable. When your election come up next year, we're going to do what we have to do. Just like we voted Trump out, we're going to vote you out. Along with Ken Paxton and Dan Patrick. And just like the rest of them, we're gonna make a difference here in Texas. I'm okay. I'm all right with all of that. But as long as I have a voice, I'm gonna push the same thing. It's time to make a change. Like Sam Cooke said, a change is gonna come. And we're gonna make that change. If you don't know Sam Cooke, we'll say the one. It's time. Time to make that change. I can't sing, so we're not gonna go that route. I sing when I started singing, about 13 people got off the call. But yeah, Texas. Next year we gotta show up. Greg Abbott have shown all of us. He don't care about none of us. He don't. Because if he did, he would not have changed his executive order last year. He lifted restrictions last year during the same time, right around spring break. And we know how some people do during spring break. That Becky and Stevie want to go traveling, want to hang out. But lifting that mask order, that mandate for the mask, is going to cause us to surge. And the other 14 states, governors that have taken a part of it, if you're in those states when they re-election show up, you need to vote them out too. Idaho, Montana, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Iowa, Missouri, Arizona, Oklahoma, Texas, Mississippi, Tennessee, South Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. If you are in either one of those states, each one of those governors are Republican. They're saying they don't care if you get the virus. It's election time. They trying to win votes. Like I said before, let's call Greg Abbott office. Call his office. Flood his lines tomorrow. 512-463-2000. Call his line and demand that he cancel that executive order for the mandate. And let him know, if he don't cancel, we will cancel him out of office next year because we're going to vote him out. We're going to vote him out. At this point, we're going to vote him out regardless. Even if he do cancel, I'm still not going to vote for him. We'll vote him out. So, but hey, I appreciate everyone that tuned in tonight. All the followers, all the haters, all the ones came on from Twitch. I appreciate y'all. ZTM 5075, I appreciate it. I appreciate what was his name? David Stevens. I appreciate all of them. Radio said, Mark, April 27 on your calendar. That's where I'm going to get. I haven't even talked about that. Miss Risky, she sent that to me either yesterday, a couple of days ago, and she sent it to me. I haven't looked at it, but I'm sure we're probably going to talk about it tomorrow. So we definitely need to pay attention to that. We need to pay attention to that trial. I feel like she should have gotten more time. That's my personal opinion. You shoot an unarmed man in his apartment eating ice cream. You, as a cop, should be able to tell if that's your apartment. But in your text message, you talked about them smoking weed. You talked about everything else. All those things you passed, you could not identify that you was in the wrong apartment. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Just like that judge that allowed what's her name, the lady out of Midland, go to Cancun. I'm still shaky about that. Same time when Ted Cruz went. I'm just saying that seemed kind of shady to me. And both of them go to Cancun at the same time, but Ted thought he was slick. Any other time he don't wear a mask, but as he was getting on the plane this time, he wore one. That's all I'm saying. And that's all I'm saying. Ted Cruz put a mask on for that. Any other time he sit in the airport with no mask. I think he was trying to hide his identity. Um, I feel like they shouldn't either. It should have been straight 10 years with no parole, no chance of parole. It should have been more than that. But the pain of having to relive this story over and over again, it shouldn't be like that. And for them to even considering, have she even done 2 years yet? And she already trying to get it shortened. No. Don't let her keep braiding Big Bertha hair. And whatever else Big Bertha have her doing, let her keep doing it. She need to do the time. She did the crime. Why not? It don't make sense. That's just like the officer that was up in Addison that shot two young men, killed one of them for trying to break in his car. Now, where he went wrong at, he chased them down. Chased them down and shot them down. He was doing security at the apartment, but they chose his car. That's why he was found guilty. And it was a black officer, which he should have been found guilty. I don't see that happening. I'm going to be honest with you. I do not see this happening at all. She could try. She could try. But if it happened, it won't be good. It won't be good. She need to do her full time. And I'm going to have to read up on that story tomorrow. I just been haven't had the opportunity to read it. I know that Miss Risky sent it to me, and I just haven't had the opportunity of reading it. But hey, I'm sure we will discuss it tomorrow, though. Um, I talked to her today, and I told her, hey, I know I'm not a good friend because she reached out to me several times, and I just didn't feel like talking. So, but we'll be back on tomorrow if the good Lord say the same. But I appreciate everyone for watching the show tonight, tuning in. Thank you for the ones that have commented, that thought about commenting, that wanted to, but decided not to. It's okay. As you can see, if you call in, we will talk to you live on the show. And don't get upset if we don't agree. That's the greatest thing about America. We have free speech. We can agree or not to agree. But at the end of the day, you have your opinion, I have my opinion. On my show, we're going to talk about facts. We're not going to bring a conspiracy theory. We won't do that. So until tomorrow, I appreciate each and every one of you. Until then, I will see you tomorrow if the good Lord say the same. Till then, peace.